What's up, Bills Mafia? I have the report card for the Buffalo Bills following the 22-16 loss in overtime versus the New Jersey Jets on Monday Night Football. And let me tell you, this is no surprise, it is a terrible report card. But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
This is Phase Ed Music.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. Well, Bills Mafia, I have the report card out, and it's a bad one. Something that you wouldn't want to take home to your parents when you were young. Put it that way. It's bad. And shout out to Bills Wire for creating this article for us. So here we go. Quarterback. F. By the way, it says quarterbacks, just quarterback. F. Josh Allen had a nice touchdown pass to Stephon Diggs. Then he successfully led a drive to tie the game to send it into overtime. Although most of that work late felt like Diggs doing, because it was. Allen giving the ball away 4 total times negates any of his other stats, so there's no point of even writing them. Listen, I agree. I talked about this yesterday. I did a video. Talk is cheap, right? And actions speak louder than words, right? Listen, Allen has been telling us the same old thing for the past, 6 seasons now, right? Five and a half seasons, whatever you want to go, over 5 seasons, that he needs to, play smarter. He needs to take what the defense is giving him. He needs to protect himself better by sliding, by going out of bounds instead of taking unnecessary hits. Just playing smarter overall football. And once again, Josh Allen goes through these moments where he just wants to play hero ball. He wants to prove that no defense is going to stop him from doing what he wants to do. And that's just not how it works in the NFL. And, I'm almost thinking this when it comes to Josh Allen. And listen, this is just an opinion, and I totally could be wrong. I'm not Josh Allen, right? But all through high school, Josh Allen had to prove himself, right? And he had to prove that he could be that guy. He could be that quarterback. Then he had to prove himself to get into college, right? And he had to write letters, and he had once again, he was sending video clips of what he did in high school. Nobody wanted him, right? Only a couple teams. And then he had to prove himself in college all over again. He went to JUCO, right? Then he went back, and then he played for Wyoming. And I just feel like even through college, he was still trying to do. Look at me. I know I could be that guy. I know I could be the man on the field to lead this team. I could beat any type of defense. I can make any type of throw. And I feel like that's carried over into the NFL. And sometimes we absolutely love that, right? And I'm not going to lie. Like, there's plays where I'm like, I'm truly amazed. And I'm sure all y'all are too, right? And it's just like, but then there's other plays. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you got to be smarter than that. And I just don't know what's going on there in his head, where it's like he just wants to prove everyone wrong, right? That he can make that throw, that he can hurdle that defender, that he could truck that defender. And you can't play like that all the time. Sometimes you can. There is moments in a game where we're going to need Josh Allen to hurdle a defender to get that extra yard. There's going to be a time where we need Josh Allen to make the crazy throw because the game's on the line. But some moments, Josh, you gotta live. You gotta live to play another down, man. And I don't know if it's not sinking in with Josh Allen quite yet. And there's moments in that game yesterday, watching the film back, that he had guys wide open. And though I don't think Dorsey called a great game, I don't think he called a bad game either. There was guys open. Go back, watch that tape again. The interception to Gabe Davis, we only needed I think it was 2 or 3 yards for that first down. He had Stephon Diggs wide open on a slant pass. He connects to Stephon Diggs. It's a first down, right? And then you get the chains moving. Instead, he has to force the ball to Gabe Davis. By the way, not a great route for Gabe Davis. He didn't even run the greatest route, but the ball should have never been thrown to him. Never. Take what the defense is giving you. I saw multiple times Dawson Knox was open. Multiple times Dalton Kincaid was open. Trent Sherfield was open. And he just decided to do what he wanted to do and avoid the easy passes. And you cannot do that. And he keeps saying over and over that I need to play smarter. And we haven't seen it yet. And I don't know who needs to talk to him to get it through his head, because clearly the coaches have talked to him already. I'm assuming his teammates have. So I don't know where else, he could go, where it would sink in that he needs to change. Because the thing is with Josh, he changes mechanics, for instance, in 2019 and the 2019 offseason. So heading into 2020. And it was a huge improvement, right? He understood what was going on with his mechanics, that his mechanics were off. He took that initiative to correct it. And you got to give him credit for that, right? I love that he did that. But he needs to take the initiative to correct this mistake, and it's a mental mistake. And he hasn't done it yet. So I don't know who he has to get with. I don't know who he has to talk to get over that mental hurdle, that he has to be the man all the time, that he could beat anybody. He has to change that thought, man. Anyways, let's get to the next one. So that's clearly an F. Running back, C. I might give it a D, but okay. James Cook led the Bills with 12 carries for 46 yards. He averaged 3.8 yards per carry. Not good. Damian Harris and Latavius Murray saw some light usage behind them. Even in the post-Singletary world, Buffalo's offense is still going to rely on Allen. Nothing spectacular from this group aside from a 12-yard carry from Cook. By the way, watching Cook, film on Cook, he missed so many holes. He was running into the back of offensive linemen all night long. His speed, by the way, he's fast, but I don't see that electric speed. He was getting caught up all night. Defenders were catching him all night. And his vision was terrible yesterday. I don't care, Monday night. His vision was bad. He has to get better. He has to play better. And by the way, too, he's so light. He gets tackled with ease. The first defender always gets him usually on the first grab. Grabs him, he goes down. I don't know if he needs to gain weight. I don't know. But I got to say, too, the lack of carries that he had in Georgia is a little concerning. There was a reason why they didn't run him much. And I understand they had a lot of weapons out there in Georgia. But I think the Bills, after this season, if James Cook doesn't get any better, we don't show signs of James Cook being the guy, I think that the Bills need to move on, not get rid of James Cook, but actually go out and draft a running back or sign one in free agency, because we need to get this running game going. By the way, Damian Harris, 1 carry. 1 carry. For a guy that they were all hyped up about getting, Damian Harris, 1 carry. That's unacceptable as well. Like James Cook wasn't cooking, right? Give Damian Harris an opportunity then. Because James Cook wasn't it. I'm sorry, he wasn't it. And Latavius Murray as well. I actually, the few carries that Latavius Murray did, I actually thought he carried the ball well between the tackles. He ran strong. He shut it off some tackles. He got some positive yards. So, yeah, that's I'm going to give that a D. I'm going to give that a D because I just did not like the running backs at all. Wide receivers B minus, and once again I'm gonna give this a C plus because I don't think anyone else stepped up. It wasn't on the wideouts that Allen gave the ball away 4 times, but aside from Diggs, there wasn't much else out there. Diggs had a game high 10 catches for 102 yards with the touchdown. Gabe Davis only hauled in 2 grabs and didn't run the best route on Allen's final interception. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. But at the same time, guys were open. As I said before, guys were open, and Allen just decided not to go their way and wanted to go for the deeper throw or the tougher throw. He just wasn't looking their way. And it's funny because Trent Sherfield, who I was excited for, who I think a lot of people were excited to see, had no targets, 0. Was not involved at all. He was out there, wasn't involved. And, Trent Sherfield said in the offseason that Ken Dorsey's playbook had everybody involved. Like this playbook was the best he's seen in the NFL. Trent Sherfield said this. It's not coming from me. And you go out there week 1, and where was this? And I'm not blaming Dorsey because once again, guys were open. Josh decided not to go their way. And I just it's very frustrating at times when you got guys there who can be utilized, guys that are weapons, and Josh just doesn't look their way. I don't understand it. I don't get it. All right, next up. Tight ends, B. A lot of snaps played for both Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid. The duo played nearly 80% of the snaps on offense. By the way, 12 personnel was heavy. Both had solid stat lines as well. Kincaid had 4 catches for 26 yards and 4 targets. Knox had 3 grabs for 25 yards on another 4 targets. You'd like to see more after the catch numbers, but that'll do for the first game running a ton more 12 personnel. I agree. I like what I saw. I do. I really do. And I hope they do that more. I hope they stick with that 12 personnel, but they need to use it. Josh needs to go to his tight ends more then. You need to take advantage of that. You need to go to Dalton Kincaid more. You cannot just keep avoiding, one of your primary targets, one of your weapons that they added for you in the draft, and you just choose not to go his way. And 4 targets is not enough. That is not enough targets. I'm sorry. For a guy that all in training camp was absolutely dogging it out. And you just avoid him pretty much. Once again, that falls on Josh Allen. I'm going to give that the tight ends wasn't great. Honestly, it's not their fault, though. I'll stick with the B. I'll stay with the B because it really wasn't their fault at the end of the day. When they had the opportunity, they did their job. Offensive line, D plus. All right, let's see what they say about the offensive line. Spencer Brown had another day to forget at right tackle. Allen had a hefty amount of pressure on him from the right side of the offensive line, thanks to Brown. While the leader on the offensive line, Mitch Morse, left something to be desired in the middle, having to play between those two was not the best setup for right guard Osiris Torrance in his first career start. By the way, I thought Osiris Torrance played very well against a very, very good defensive line. From what I saw, Osiris Torrance did his job on Monday night. By the way, the only good thing I got to say about the offensive line, like the one positive thing, is they didn't have a lot of penalties on them. That's a good sign. It really is. I think there was maybe 2. And Spencer Brown, I saw him get bullied back a few times. Not good. Not good. You need to get stronger. And Mitch Morse was okay. I didn't think Mitch Morse was bad, but once again, they're right. Nothing to be desired. I thought Deion Dawkins got blown up a few times as well. You're a Pro Bowl left tackle, man. What are you doing? You got to play better than that. You have to protect Josh Allen better. And McGovern didn't look too hot either. Thought McGovern got beat a few times. And yeah, I agree. I'm going to give that a D plus as well, though they went against a very good defensive line. So they better look a lot better going against the Raiders this Sunday. I want to see a better offensive line. You're going against, a good defensive line, but not a Jets defensive line. So I need to see something better. All right, next one. Defensive line, B. I agree with that. A mixed bag from the entire defensive front seven, but the defensive line stood out more thanks to their pass rushing prowess. Leonard Floyd looked to be a smart signing who could be much more than just a stopgap until Von Miller returns from PUP list. He had 1.5 sacks and was all over the opposing quarterback. Gregory Rousseau had a strong outing on the other side of the defense line too. However, this group needs a share of the blame for the poor run defense as well. Jets running back Breece Hall nearly took one carry the entire length of the field, and the defensive line was completely bowled over. Even on carries, he should have been tackled in the backfield. Hall mustered up something thanks to missed tackles. I agree with that as well. Listen, I thought they played well, but the once again, the run defense is really hurting the Buffalo Bills once again. And this is something else that falls back on Sean McDermott, who keeps preaching about tackling, who keeps preaching about we need to stop the big runs, right? And we continue to let teams run the ball on us, get big chunk yards, 75-yard runs, 50-yard runs. You can't have that happen in the NFL. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if guys are out of place, but it needs to be fixed. But I've been saying this for the past 3 seasons, and here we are today with Jets running backs running all over us. And I almost think it doesn't matter who we go against. Running backs seem to always have these big runs against us. Something has to be fixed. All right, next up. But by the way, I want to say one more thing. I thought the pass rush was great. I thought they got home. They put a lot of pressure on the quarterbacks. They made Zach Wilson, make some terrible throws at times. Even Aaron Rodgers, they were getting after early on. Leonard Floyd, I told you guys that was going to be a great signing, and he is exactly who I thought he was. I think he's going to get 9 sacks this season, 9 or 10. Perfect. When Von gets back, even better. But yeah, that I had no problem with. I thought the defensive line getting pressure to the quarterback was real good, but the run defense was not so good. You guys saw what they did. They need to tighten up. Tackling, you have to get better at. All right, next up, linebacker C+. Yeah, I think I agree with that. Matt Milano had an interception, which was perhaps the easiest of his career. Not to take anything away from him, but Jets quarterback Zach Wilson hit him between the numbers. Everything else included, there were positive plays, both from Milano and Terrell Bernard at the line of scrimmage. There were also misses on the long runs from Breece Hall, bad ones. I agree. And listen, I love Matt Milano. I think Matt Milano is one of the most underrated linebackers in the NFL. And by the way, that dude brings the boom. He hits when he tackles you, you're gonna feel it. Love that about Matt Milano. But what I didn't love about Matt Milano in Monday night was when he hadn't made the interception, he cost us 15 yards by talking trash, getting in the face of Zach Wilson on your way to the sideline. Not smart. Once again, just like I talk about Josh Allen not being smart, Matt Milano, I get it. You're excited. You're happy. The emotions are running high, but you can't do that. You cost your team 15 yards. You got to play smarter than that, guys. And you're a veteran. You should know better. All right, next up. Secondary, B. I agree with that. Not great, but good. Zach Wilson isn't much of a test for anyone these days, and some substantial gains he had in the air after replacing Aaron Rodgers came on screen passes. I agree. However, Garrett Wilson still converted a few good plays, even if he was held to only 34 yards. His touchdown catch might give Tre'Davious White nightmares all season. Not to mention, while the front seven defenders do play a huge role in run defense, don't go looking for White or Jordan Poyer on those Hall runs. It might cause a cringe. Yeah, they weren't good on those either. The only one really that they got to give a shout out to is Christian Benford. Christian Benford saved us 4 points on that play because that was a touchdown. If he didn't put that effort in to catch up to Breece Hall and make that tackle, Breece Hall gets in for a touchdown. It's an easy touchdown. There was nobody else around. And kudos to Christian Benford for not giving up on that play. So, but yeah, I thought the corners played well. I got to be honest with you. I thought they were sticky all night, but once again, they are right. You were going against a Zach Wilson, who's just a bad quarterback, in my opinion. And the Jets have a problem moving forward. They really do. Unless they find somebody out in the streets that's better, which I don't know who's out there. All right, next up. Coaching. F. Totally agree. The Bills had their worst loss in a long time. Sean McDermott's team didn't respond to the huge opportunity they had in front of them when Rodgers went down. In fact, they flushed it right down the drain. And that's the end of that, by the way. And I agree. Listen, I told you guys from the beginning, I thought Sean McDermott this season was going to be a lot of pressure on Sean McDermott now that he's calling defensive play calling and he's the head coach. And once again, man, I just feel like maybe the pressure got to him. He got out coach, plain and simple, got out coach. I didn't like the fact that he wasn't talking to Josh Allen much on the sideline. Not that I saw. I didn't even see really the quarterback coach talking to Josh Allen much on the sideline. And I didn't like that. I thought his clock management was bad at times. And I just, once again, man, and also Ken Dorsey. I've been supporting Ken Dorsey since last season. And it's tough. It's getting tougher and tougher for me to keep supporting this guy. And I'm not saying his play calling was terrible Monday night. Thought it was okay. But okay is not good enough. Okay is not good enough. You're going against a very good Jets defense. You need to be more creative. You need to do more in-game adjustments. And you're not helping this offense if you're not doing that. And he wasn't. And once again, I felt like we played to the Jets defense. We played kind of scared in a way. We played safe football the whole night. Very vanilla. I don't understand it. I don't. And maybe, just maybe, Ken Dorsey's not the guy. I'm not willing to say that just yet. But I need to see more, man. Because I could definitely see them letting Ken Dorsey go after the season if this continues. We'll see. But the coaching, yeah, definitely an F. I got to give it an F. And my overall grade on this game, I'm going to give it a D. It was bad. It was really bad. There was some bright spots of this game for some players, but overall bad. By the way, Terrell Bernard, I'm not saying he was awful, but he wasn't good either. And I'm just hoping that Christian Kirksey is learning this playbook and he can get ready to go by week 2, week 3, because Terrell Bernard is not the guy. They made a huge mistake at middle linebacker, putting all their marbles into, where all their eggs into the basket, or as to say, whatever, into Dotson, right? Tyrell Dotson. Big mistake, huge mistake. And now they're suffering for it. And this defense is suffering for it. And like I said, this is no knock on Bernard. I didn't think he played awful, but he didn't play good. And I just really hope that Kirksey can at least fill that spot for this year good enough to make it through this season until we draft a middle linebacker or sign one in free agency that's capable of doing that, handling that middle linebacker position. But yeah, other than that, guys, what's your grade on this game? I'm close to giving it an F, but I'll give it a D because there was some bright spots, and I would say more so on the defense. By the way, they didn't mention special teams. F for special teams. Bad punt by Sam Martin at the end of the game there. Got to say, and I like Sam Martin, but bad punt, short. bad coverage, and Sam Martin, who had an opportunity to at least try to make the tackle, like two-hand touched him. What are you doing? This isn't two-hand touch football. Make an effort to tackle this dude. He was right in front of you. So I didn't like the effort on Sam Martin from the. I didn't like the punt. I didn't like the poor job trying to tackle the guy, and I didn't like the defense, the special teams defense on that. They were nowhere. They got beat bad. So special teams not good either. Anyways, guys, Bills Mafia, comment below. I want to know what your grade is. Bills Mafia, I love you, and as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.